Let's now understand what are the key ITTOs involved when doing procurement planning. So, to remind ourselves with the procurement planning, we say that it's a process of a structured approach that determines how external goods and services will be acquired for the project. And this process follows the PMI ITTOs framework, which consists of inputs, tools, and techniques and outputs. The inputs provide the necessary information for the procurement planning. Tools and techniques help in decision making, and outputs define the documents and deliverables resulting from the process itself. So, understanding these ITTOs ensures that the procurement decisions are well informed and aligned with the project needs and executed efficiently. So, as you could see that we have the key inputs here, including the project charter, the business documents, project management plan, the EEFs, the OPAs, and the tools and techniques here used, including the expert judgment, the data gathering, the data analysis, and source of selection analysis, where you select the vendors based on a specific criteria that you set with your team. And the outputs here are including the procurement management plan, the procurement strategy, the bid documents, the procurement statement of work, the source of selection criteria, make or buy decisions, and independent cost estimates, the change requests, and project document updates. Also, the OPAs update. So we'll look into each of these in more in depth on the next slide. So the key inputs here to procurement planning, including the project charter, which defines the project scope and high-level procurement needs. The business document includes the business case and benefits management plan. The project management plan, which guides the procurement approach. You might also need the project documents, which has the stakeholder register and risk register and requirements documentation. So again, procurement planning relies on various inputs that provides the essential information about the project needs, constraints, and strategies. So as we say that the project charter, the business documents, the project management plans, project documents, the EEFs and OPAs help refining the procurement strategies. Let's now see how the project management, let's say, role in procurement management. So the project management plan plays a critical role in procurement planning by setting the procurement objectives, policies, and execution strategies. It ensures that the procurement aligns with the project scope, schedule, and cost baseline, which is known as the constraints. So, if the procurement activities are not planned correctly, they can lead to delays or cost overruns or scope misalignment. A well structured project management plan ensures that the procurement plan remains transparent, well documented, and aligned with overall project success. Now, let's look into the key tools and techniques for procurement planning. So, procurement planning requires a specialized tool and techniques to make informed decisions. The first one is expert judgment. Expert judgment is crucial as the procurement specialist and legal advisors provide an insight into contract types and vendor capabilities and regulatory compliance. You have also the market research. Market research help identifying the qualified vendors and current industry trends. When it comes to meetings bring together stakeholders to discuss the procurement requirements, while data analysis evaluates the cost estimates, the vendor capabilities, and potential risks with each vendor. A new tool here, which is the source selection criteria. Source selection criteria to define a measurable standards for selecting the vendors and ensuring an objective and structured evaluation process. Let's talk about the market research and procurement planning. Since you need to purchase these goods from the market, or to deal with vendors from the existing market that you live in. So, market research is a key technique in procurement planning, which helps the project teams to identify potential vendors, understanding the pricing structures, and assess the supplier reliability. And by evaluating the market trends, organizations can negotiate better contracts, terms, and ensure the procurement aligns with the project needs. Additionally, market research helps in anticipating risks related to supplier stability, such financial situation, financial statements, cost fluctuation, and geopolitical issues that may impact the procurement decisions. Now let's discuss the outputs of the procurement planning. So the outputs of the procurement planning results or result is very critical documentation that guides the procurement execution. The first one you have here is the procurement plan. The procurement plan serves as the roadmap for procurement activities, and it defines how procurement will be conducted and monitored. Next, you have the procurement strategy, which specifies the contract types, the payment structures, and delivery schedules. Also, you have the bid documents, which is very important to cover here. Bid documents like the RFPs, the RFQs helps to to verify and to validate and even to evaluate the vendor proposals. We have also the sort of selection criteria, which we have covered earlier, but um, uh, let's repeat what we have said. So we said the source selection criteria, it ensures that the vendors are chosen based on an objective criteria. The next output here you have is the make or buy decision. So make or buy decision evaluates whether an external procurement is necessary or not. The independent cost estimate, it ensures that the procurement costs align with the budget constraints. So these are the key outputs. I really encourage you to review them and just to have an example of each of them, so you just understand them in real life and also in your PMP exam. The procurement management plan is one of the most important outputs, okay, of the procurement planning, and it provides the detailed strategies for acquiring external goods and services, ensuring that all procurement activities aligns with the project objectives. And this document includes information on vendor selection criteria, contract management procedures, and risk mitigation strategies. It ensures the procurement decisions are well documented and executed in a structured manner, minimizing any potential risks and inefficiencies. I want to highlight on make or buy decision analysis and procurement planning. So, the make or buy analysis is critical decision making process that evaluates whether to procure goods, services externally or to produce them internally. So, some of these big organizations won't agree to procure something because they might have these resources available, or the teams can develop the for example, a software that you're looking to implement. So they might have a team to implement that internally or in-house. So they don't let you to go and procure a new software where the team capabilities can fulfill this requirement. And this analysis considers multiple factors, including the cost efficiency, expertise, the quality, the risk management associated with the procurement. If the external vendors can provide a service at a lower cost with a higher quality, procurement may be the best option. However, if the internal team have the required expertise and resources, in-house development may be more efficient. So a proper make or buy decisions ensure cost-effective and strategic procurement planning. The role of source selection criteria in procurement, or let's say um, the role of, let's say, of having a selection criteria when choosing a vendor. So the source selection criteria, we can consider them as a predefined standards used to evaluate the vendor proposals objectively. And these criteria ensures that the procurement decisions are made based on measurable factors rather than just subjective preferences. The typical selection criteria include, for example, the cost competitiveness, the technical expertise, the financial situation of the vendor, the past project performance and history, the risk exposure, maybe the number of years within the country or the number of years on experience with delivering these projects. Also, the contractual compliance. So, a well defined source selection criteria proves the vendor selection transparency, ensuring that the best possible supplier is chosen for the project. The key benefits for having a well defined procurement planning. So, a well structured procurement planning processes significantly enhances the project efficiency and reduces the risk associated with the procurement activity. It ensures that all of the procurement actions are strategically aligned with the project objectives, reducing the likelihood of cost overruns or delays or inequality issues. Effective procurement planning also enhances the vendor performance, as clear expectation and selection criteria helping ensuring that the best suppliers are chosen. And by integrating the procurement planning with the project management best practices, organizations can streamline the resource acquisition and optimize the costs and improve the overall project success.